Help me reach 500 subscribers. Tap the like button and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Thank you. I stepped into my parents' living room still smelling of recycled airplane air and hospital-grade sanitizer, scents that cling after months of medical volunteer work abroad. My suitcase scraped across the carpet, leaving a faint trail of dust behind me. 3 faces turned toward me. My parents sat stiffly on the sofa, expressions tight and unreadable. My sister, however, glowed with smugness so thick it practically fogged the room. And beside her stood him, the man she boldly introduced everywhere as her husband. My husband, or so she believed. Surprised? She asked, lifting her chin like a queen revealing her newest conquest. She was dressed in stolen symbols of my life, my wedding necklace, my heels, and even the signature soft pink lipstick I'd always kept hidden from her. We tied the knot last month, she announced. Didn't Mom and Dad tell you? My mother avoided my eyes. My father swallowed hard. I should have felt rage, or heartbreak, or something that cracked me open. Instead, a quiet laugh escaped me, low, steady, the kind that makes people retreat without knowing why. Because the man she married wasn't who she believed he was. Not even close. When I first introduced them years ago, she didn't even look up from her phone. He shook her hand politely, his smile shy and soft, the exact kind of gentle consistency that had made me fall for him. My sister, however, was always drawn to men who looked like platinum credit cards disguised as humans. And at the time he was nothing close to that. A junior analyst renting a cramped studio, driving a car barely held together by hope and duct tape. I trusted them both. God, I was naive. But then strange things started happening. The months before I left for my overseas program, he grew distant, clutching his phone like a lifeline. He flinched whenever I walked into the room. My sister suddenly became supportive, asking about our finances, wedding plans, even my travel dates. I brushed it off. Stress, I told myself. Work pressure. Until I found her bracelet, a small gold one with her initials, under the passenger seat of his car. When I confronted him, he stammered through paper-thin excuses. My sister laughed outright and accused me of being paranoid. And when I brought it up to my parents, they sighed and told me I was emotional and needed a change of scenery. That was the moment the puzzle snapped into place. They weren't ignoring the betrayal. They were preparing to legitimize it. So I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I planned. Before leaving the country, I didn't confront anyone. Not a single word. Instead, I visited his lawyer. I knew my fiancé better than he knew himself. Terrified of confrontation, allergic to responsibility, constantly worried about his finances. A short conversation, a few signatures later, and the trap was set. My name was removed from our joint accounts. His debts were quietly refinanced, under his brand new single status. And the best part, legal documents granting me full financial proxy over all his current and future assets while I was abroad. He signed everything eagerly, relieved I was handling it. He thought I was helping. I was preparing the battlefield. Then I boarded my plane. While I was stitching up wounds overseas, they stitched lies together back home. The dress she stole? I let her. The venue deposit she used? Paid from an account he legally didn't own. The gifts registered under his name? Technically under mine. And the marriage certificate she flaunted online? I saw the signature. It wasn't his. It belonged to the legal identity of a man whose finances belonged to me. Her smirk began to wobble as I sat down calmly. Why aren't you shocked? She demanded. I am, I said. Impressed, actually. Planning a whole wedding in a stolen dress? That takes confidence. Her husband shifted uncomfortably. I opened my bag, pulled out a thick folder, and placed it on the table. What's that? She asked. Your future. Or, what's left of it. She grabbed the papers. Her face drained as she flipped through them. The debt consolidation under his name. The property clause binding him financially to me. The proxy giving me full control of his finances. And finally, the masterpiece. Annulment papers filed by him, signed 3 days after their ceremony. She whipped her head toward him. You signed this? His voice cracked. I didn't know. Your parents said, she said. I leaned back, letting the truth sink claws into her. You didn't marry him. Not legally. The signature on your certificate? Sloppily. My parents gasped. My sister looked like the floor was tilting beneath her. And since the wedding was conducted with fraudulent documents, I continued gently, everything purchased, used, or received under his name is now under investigation, including the venue, the gifts, and the money you took from Mom and Dad's account. Her voice trembled. You did this. No, I said softly. You did this the day you decided I was weak. He moved to another city. My parents eventually apologized. Too late. My sister is still drowning in debt she never saw coming. And me? I'm doing just fine. Because there's nothing more satisfying than justice served ice cold. Especially when the ones who betrayed you never noticed the blade until it was already pressed against their pride.